Here's something that might shock you. The secret to adding years to your life isn't found in expensive supplements or fancy exercise equipment. It's hiding in plain sight, scattered throughout your home right now. I'm talking about the power of letting go. What if I told you that clearing away certain things from your life could reduce your stress, boost your energy, and even help you sleep better at night? Sounds too good to be true. Well, stick around, because I'm about to share the 10 most important things you should consider removing from your life after 60. Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll understand why sometimes less truly is more, and you might just discover the key to your happiest, healthiest years yet. Meet Margaret, a story of transformation. Let me introduce you to Margaret, a spirited 74-year-old who reminds me a lot of myself. Margaret spent her golden years surrounded by decades of memories. Photo albums stacked to the ceiling, kitchen drawers so full they barely closed, and closets bursting with clothes from every era of her life. Sound familiar? For Margaret, every object told a story. That ceramic elephant from her honeymoon in Thailand. The bread maker she swore she'd use again. The stack of magazines she planned to read someday. But here's what Margaret didn't realize. All these possessions were quietly stealing her peace. After a minor fall in her cluttered hallway, Margaret's daughter gently suggested it might be time to simplify. At first, Margaret resisted. These weren't just things, they were pieces of her life. But as she began sorting through her belongings, something unexpected happened. With each box she donated and every drawer she organized, Margaret felt lighter. Not just physically, but emotionally too. The overwhelming feeling that had been creeping into her daily life began to fade. She could find things easier, move around her home with confidence, and most importantly, she felt in control again. By the time Margaret finished her journey, she hadn't just cleaned her house, she had reclaimed her life. And if Margaret can do it, so can you. Why this matters more than you think. Now, you might be wondering, is this really such a big deal? Let me share something with you. As we get older, our homes should become our sanctuaries, places where we feel safe, calm, and at peace. But when our spaces are overflowing with things we don't need or use, they can actually work against us. Think about it this way. Every time you struggle to find something in a messy drawer, every time you have to navigate around furniture that's in your way, every time you look at a pile of papers and feel overwhelmed, that's stress. And stress, as we all know, isn't good for our health or happiness. The beautiful thing about simplifying is that it's not about throwing away your memories or living like a monk. It's about being intentional with what you keep around you. It's about surrounding yourself only with things that serve a purpose or bring you genuine joy. So what should you focus on first? Let's dive into the 10 most impactful areas where a little decluttering can make a huge difference. 1. Expired medical supplies, your hidden health risk. Here's something that might surprise you. That medicine cabinet of yours could be harboring some real dangers. I'm talking about expired medications, old bandages that have lost their stickiness, and medical devices that stopped working properly years ago. Now, I know what you're thinking, but what if I need them? Here's the truth. Expired medications can actually be harmful to your health. They lose their effectiveness over time, and in some cases, they can even become toxic. Take a weekend afternoon and go through everything medical in your home. Check expiration dates on all medications, prescription and over-the-counter. Look at your first aid supplies. Is that thermometer still working? Are those blood pressure cuff readings still accurate? Here's what I want you to do. Make 3 piles. Keep, donate, and dispose. For medications, contact your local pharmacy. Most have safe disposal programs. For medical equipment that's still good, consider donating to local clinics or senior centers. The peace of mind you'll get from knowing your medical supplies are current and reliable, that's priceless. 2. Paper clutter, the silent stress creator. Let's talk about something that sneaks up on all of us, paper clutter. Bills from 5 years ago, instruction manuals for appliances you no longer own, warranties for items that have long since broken. Sound familiar? Here's what I've learned. Every piece of paper you keep just in case is taking up mental space, even when you're not looking at it. It's like having a constant whisper in the back of your mind saying, "Don't forget to deal with me." The solution is simpler than you think. Start with 1 pile at a time. Ask yourself, do I really need this? If it's an important document like medical records or tax information, consider scanning it and storing it digitally. Most smartphones can do this now with just a few taps. For everything else, those old utility bills, expired warranties, manuals for gadgets you donated years ago, it's time to let them go. Shred anything with personal information and recycle the rest. You'll be amazed at how much mental clarity comes from clearing these paper piles. It's like lifting a weight you didn't even know you were carrying. 3. Clothing from decades past, honoring your present self. Now this one hits close to home for many of us. I'm talking about that closet filled with clothes from different chapters of your life. The dress you wore to your daughter's wedding 20 years ago. The suit from your working days. The jeans you keep thinking you'll fit into again someday. Here's something I want you to consider. Holding on to clothes that no longer fit your body or your lifestyle can actually make you feel worse about yourself. Every time you see them, they can remind you of who you used to be instead of celebrating who you are today. Your current self deserves to be honored. You deserve to open your closet and see clothes that fit you well, make you feel confident, and suit your current lifestyle. Here's my gentle challenge. Go through your clothes and ask yourself, does this represent who I am today? If something hasn't been worn in over a year, if it doesn't fit properly, or if it just doesn't feel like you anymore, it's okay to let it go. Consider donating these items to local charities. Someone else might love that dress or suit and get years of enjoyment from it. And you'll be left with a closet full of clothes that truly serve you now. 4. Kitchen gadgets gathering dust, simplifying your cooking space. Oh, the kitchen gadgets we accumulate over the years. That bread maker that seemed like such a good idea. The juicer that promised to revolutionize your health. The pasta maker you used exactly twice. Here's the thing about kitchen gadgets. They often represent good intentions rather than actual habits. And when they pile up in our cabinets and drawers, they can make cooking, something that should be enjoyable, feel overwhelming and frustrating. Think about your last few months of cooking. What tools did you actually reach for? That trusty can opener, your favorite wooden spoon, maybe a good knife and cutting board. The essentials that make cooking a pleasure, not a chore. Take an honest inventory of your kitchen gadgets. If you haven't used something in the past year, and you can't honestly see yourself using it in the next month, it's taking up valuable space. Consider this. A simpler kitchen is often a safer kitchen. Fewer items mean less clutter, which means fewer obstacles to navigate around. And for those gadgets that are still in good condition, they could bring joy to someone just starting their cooking journey. 5. Outdated electronics, clearing the tech confusion. Technology moves fast these days, doesn't it? Before we know it, our drawers fill up with old phones, tangled charging cables, and gadgets we can barely remember how to use. Here's what I've discovered. Keeping outdated electronics around doesn't just take up space. It can actually make us feel overwhelmed and behind the times. Every time we see that pile of old cables or that phone from 5 years ago, it's a reminder of how quickly things change. The truth is, if you haven't used an electronic device in the past year, you probably don't need it. Those old charging cables for phones you no longer own. The tablet that's too slow to be useful anymore. The stack of DVDs when you now stream everything. It's time to let them go. Many communities have electronic recycling programs that will safely dispose of these items. Some retailers even offer trade-in programs for old devices. And who knows? That old tablet might be perfect for someone just getting started with technology. Clearing out these electronic remnants isn't just about physical space. It's about mental space too. It's about focusing on the technology that actually serves you today. 6. Excess furniture, creating space to move freely. As we age, our relationship with our living space changes. What once felt cozy might now feel cramped. That extra chair in the corner or the side table that's always in the way, they might be doing more harm than good. Here's something important to consider. Clear pathways in your home aren't just about aesthetics, they're about safety. Every piece of furniture that narrows a walkway or creates an obstacle is a potential hazard. Walk through your home with fresh eyes. Are there pieces of furniture that you never use? Chairs that nobody sits in? Tables that just collect dust and mail? Sometimes the most loving thing we can do for ourselves is to create more open, navigable space. This doesn't mean your home has to feel empty or stark. It means being intentional about the furniture you keep. Every piece should either serve a practical purpose or bring you genuine joy when you look at it. Consider donating furniture that's in good condition to local charities or families who are just starting out. Your excess dining chairs might be exactly what a young family needs, and you'll be left with a home that feels more spacious and safer to navigate. 7. Books you'll never read again, sharing the gift of knowledge. Books are tricky, aren't they? They represent knowledge, memories, and possibilities. That cookbook you bought with great intentions. The novel you enjoyed years ago but will never reread. The reference books that are now outdated. Here's what I've learned. Keeping books you'll never open again is like holding on to the past instead of making room for the present. Those books served their purpose when you needed them, but now they might be serving someone else better. Go through your bookshelf with honest eyes. Which books have you not touched in years? Which ones represent interests you no longer have? It's okay to acknowledge that your reading preferences have changed over time. Consider donating these books to local libraries, senior centers, or literacy programs. Your romance novels might brighten someone's day. Your cookbooks might inspire someone to try new recipes. Your reference books might help someone learn something new. Keep the books that you truly love or might actually reference again. But let the others go to places where they'll be appreciated and used. There's something beautiful about passing along the gift of knowledge and entertainment. 8. Abandoned hobby supplies, releasing past passions. We all have them, the remnants of hobbies we once loved but no longer pursue. The knitting supplies from when you went through that phase. The painting materials gathering dust in the closet. The gardening tools you haven't touched since you moved to an apartment. Here's the thing about old hobby supplies. They can make us feel guilty. Every time we see them, we might think, I should get back to that, or I wasted money on this. But here's a different way to think about it. These supplies represent a time when you were exploring, learning, and growing. They serve their purpose. Your interests evolving is perfectly normal and healthy. The person you are today might have different passions than the person you were 5 or 10 years ago. And that's not just okay, it's wonderful. Consider donating these supplies to local schools, community centers, or craft groups. Your unused yarn might become someone's first scarf. Your art supplies might help a child discover their love of painting. Your gardening tools might help someone grow their first tomato. Letting go of these supplies isn't giving up on your past self. It's making room for your current self to explore new interests or deepen current ones. 9. Toxic relationships, the most important decluttering of all. Now we're getting to something that might be even more important than physical clutter. The people in our lives who drain our energy and peace of mind. As we get older, we come to understand something profound. Time is precious, and we don't have to spend it with people who consistently make us feel bad about ourselves. Whether it's a friend who always complains but never listens, a family member who criticizes more than they support, or an acquaintance who brings drama wherever they go, toxic relationships can be more exhausting than any physical clutter. This doesn't mean cutting people off at the first sign of difficulty. Relationships are complex, and everyone has bad days. But if someone consistently leaves you feeling drained, criticized, or unappreciated, it might be time to create some distance. This can be one of the hardest forms of decluttering because it involves emotions and history. But surrounding yourself with people who uplift you, support you, and genuinely care about your well-being. That's not selfish, that's essential. Consider spending more time with people who make you laugh, who celebrate your successes, who listen when you need to talk. Life is too short to spend it walking on eggshells or feeling bad about yourself because of someone else's negativity. 10. Regret and guilt, freeing your emotional space. Finally, let's talk about the heaviest clutter of all, the emotional baggage we carry around in our hearts and minds. The regrets about decisions we made or didn't make. The guilt about things we said or didn't say. The what-ifs that keep us awake at night. Here's something I want you to understand. Carrying around old guilt and regret is like trying to drive forward while constantly looking in the rearview mirror. It's exhausting, and it prevents you from fully experiencing the life you have right now. This doesn't mean forgetting the past or pretending mistakes didn't happen. It means forgiving yourself for being human. It means recognizing that you made the best decisions you could with the information and circumstances you had at the time. Releasing this emotional clutter might be the most liberating thing you ever do. It creates space for gratitude, for new experiences, and for the peace that comes from accepting yourself completely. Consider talking to a counselor, a trusted friend, or a spiritual advisor if you're struggling to let go of old emotional burdens. Sometimes we need help sorting through our feelings, just like we need help sorting through our physical possessions. Your journey starts today. Just like Margaret, you have the power to transform your life by letting go of what no longer serves you. Whether it's expired medications creating hidden health risks, paper clutter creating mental stress, or emotional baggage weighing down your spirit, you can choose to release these burdens. Remember, decluttering isn't about living with nothing. It's about living with intention. It's about surrounding yourself with things and people and thoughts that support the life you want to live today. Start small. Choose one area from this list and spend just 15 minutes working on it. See how it feels. Notice the sense of accomplishment, the feeling of lightness, the peace that comes from taking control of your space. You don't have to do this all at once. In fact, it's better if you don't. Take your time. Be gentle with yourself. And remember, every small step toward simplicity is a step toward a more joyful, peaceful life. Your future self will thank you for the gift of a lighter, clearer, more intentional life. And who knows? Like Margaret, you might discover that in letting go of what you don't need, you've made room for everything you've been looking for. What will you declutter first? I'd love to hear about your journey in the comments below. And if this resonates with you, please consider sharing it with someone who might benefit from a fresh start. Until next time, this is Elder's Wise Insight, reminding you that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is simply let go.